bypassing you will of course also halt some other people to get to the goal or make it harder for them. But hey, that's the lesson he tried to convey. Then there is another topic, and that's very interesting. I will illustrate this again. There was the Black Death of child death. This was child death in the child bed. So children were being born, oftentimes they died, but especially their mothers would be dying. And often between giving birth and then 2 days, so 48 hours later, they would die. And the doctors were quite puzzled, because this was a phenomenon that really wrecked a lot of Europe, because children were born but there were no mothers to care for them, and that would also lead to a lot of adults dying, mothers dying, but also would lead to children dying, younger children dying, but also these babies, of course, because there was no mother to feed them, give them breastfeeding, etc. And what was the case? The doctors were also puzzled, so they studied those that died the day before and tried to dissect them and do all the other stuff, and then look into giving birth in the afternoon. And then there was a person who said it might be that you bring something into the patient, the living patient again, from the dead patient, but it took 30 years for them to get through this message. And what they did then is they washed their hands and sterilized their equipment, so for example the scalpels that they used to make incisions, and then the Black Death of childbed, it just went away. It just went away. In most cases people would not die anymore, especially the mothers. So it's important to also look at yourself. Sometimes you're the problem. You think you're the solution to the problem, like the doctors thought, because they were investigating the problem all the time, but they were also causing the problem again for the next day, or the day after, because they also were interacting with live humans that they would then contaminate with these bacteria, viruses or whatever that was causing that mortality to begin with. So it's important to also look at yourself and see that sometimes you're the problem. Then a lesson about speaking. Oftentimes when you're in a management team meeting, you will see a lot of dominance